So now we want to talk a little bit about your high school days. So high school for you started eighth grade.
Eighth grade.
Eighth grade, back in these days. So eighth grade, were you still in the same school?
No, eighth grade, we had a separate high school called Randolph Clay High School, which is still there to this day. It was two separate counties. Randolph was the county I lived in, and Clay County was the next city over, but it was a different county. And they brought those two schools together to make one high school because of our small population. We had to bring two counties together.
Yeah, pretty small. So how was that transition going to eighth grade?
Oh, I enjoyed it because I was ready to go to high school, like I said. And so when I got to high school in eighth grade, I immediately made the JV basketball team. So I was on junior varsity for my eighth grade year. Played like 10 games. I enjoyed that. And then when I became a freshman, you get an opportunity. The coach, the varsity basketball coach would let the JV coach know who you want to try for. And I actually made the varsity team as a freshman.
What position?
I was playing small forward at the time. Still playing small forward.
So your high school, your basketball was your sport?
Yes.
You play any other sport?
Yes. I ran track, and I played baseball for 1 year. My sophomore year, I played baseball. But baseball, I was a pitcher. It just messed with my elbow so much, and it just messed me up from shooting. I used to have my elbow used to be hurting so much from pitching so much until it just messed me up from basketball. So I stopped playing baseball.
What about track?
Track, I ran track for.
What'd you run?
3. Ran the relays, and once again the 400, which I think was still called the 400 meters when you run one time around. And ran the relays like the 440 relay and the mile relay where you run four people run one lap. And I did that.
Did you do that all 4 years?
No, I did it my freshman, sophomore, junior year. I didn't do it my senior year.
Why didn't you do your senior year?
I was just focusing on basketball 100% of the time. It's what happened was that our basketball coach, he made majority of the basketball players run track and everything.
Do like some type of sport on the side.
On the side.
It seemed like that was pretty common because, with me, I was made to do some type of sport.
In my senior year, I just ended up not doing it because I didn't. I think he pick and choose. He told certain players, don't risk injury and stuff. So I was afraid to go. I was one of the main players on the team, so he told me don't risk injury. So I didn't play my senior year.
Now I'm gonna ask this question. You need to be honest. Don't lie. How good was you?
Oh, I was a beast. I was a beast. I got newspaper clippings, everything. I got to find them for you.
You got newspaper clippings?
Yes. Because my small town, man, we had a local newspaper, man. And then they used to come record the games and do all that kind of stuff every game. Been on local news and everything. My senior year, man, I averaged 22 points a game.
Oh wow.
22 points a game. Our high school sucked in football. We probably won one game a year, but we were known for basketball.
During your time, did y'all win any championships?
Yeah, we won the state championship my junior year. We didn't win our senior year. We went to state, but we lost at state. But my junior year, we won it.
So were you 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A?
We were 1A. We was only 1A because come from a small community. Even though them two counties combined, we still was only 1A. And to this day, they're still on a 1A school.
How'd you feel like doing that state championship? How'd you feel about that game? Were you nervous?
Yes, I was always nervous. For me, I've always been nervous until I scored like 1 or 2 baskets, and then the nerves kind of shook off when I scored like 1 or 2 baskets because that's just how I did. Like I couldn't get in the flow of the game until I scored a basket or 2, and then after that, but the year that we went to the state and won it, we beat a team. They were all 1A because they classified as 1A, but they had won the championship the 2 previous years, so we ended up beating them.
Oh wow.
We're popular, man.
So throughout that high school time, I just want to stay in school. Was there any teacher that you know of that you feel like had any impact besides coaches? I ain't talking about coaches, just teachers. Like, or was like high school like a blur? Or you more focused on?
I can. Yes, no, I know. Let me tell you, being that I keep emphasizing outside of our school, our coaches also had to teach classes too. So my basketball coach was also my science teacher. So when he coached, he was the basketball coach. He coached PE, but he also had other had to coach science too. He just so happened to be my science teacher my junior and senior year, and so and he was a big influence on me outside of basketball because he took a lot of interest in me, like stuff like he would I'll never forget. I come from a very poor environment. My mom, like I say, worked at a sewing factory, and this was back in the '80s. But I remember my mom checks used to be like $120 a week, which I get, and I remember for 5 kids, my dad used to give my mom a $35 check for child support for 5 kids. So I recall this basketball coach named Coach Ralph Burks. To this day, we still text each other to this day. My mom didn't. He bought my senior ring. He paid for my senior trip and all that. And my junior and senior year, he bought my basketball shoes because back then we didn't. All they provided was the uniform, but you had to buy your own shoes. And the one junior year I came there, I take it back. Me and my brother back then, we were about the same size. I think when I was in high school, I was lucky if I was weighing 150. I was real tall and real skinny, like kind of like my son, VJ. And so we were the same. We shared everything. We used to fight over. Like if we were both want to wear the same pair of shoes, we used to fight over it. First person got to it wore it. So I think the coach recognized that we were sharing shoes, and he went and bought me some basketball shoes. And I was at practice wearing low top. Do you remember shoes they used to call Pro Kids or whatever the case may be? They look like Chuck Taylor. They were low top though. I think they call them Pro Kids. That's what I was wearing. He bought me some. Back then they weren't all leather, but they was like cloth Nikes high top. I love them shoes, man. And so he took big interest in me. He used to tell me, and he always tell me, that basketball. He made sure that he'd say, make sure you get your schoolwork or whatever the case may be. And he checked my grades and everything. That coach, I think, because he would make all the basketball players bring their progress report and their report card to them when we receive them, because he's a teacher. He knows when we got them. And when we that day we came to practice, before we started practice, we had to go. He had an inbox. We had to go put our progress report and our report cards in.
How'd you feel like your high school days? Your academic level. Would you say you was A and B, C and D?
I'll say a B and C.
B and C.
B and C. I had to. What made me get good grades, because I think they implemented that even back then that if you didn't have good grades, you couldn't participate in sports and play sports. And our coach, even if you weren't doing good grades, he wasn't going to allow you to dress out or play. And so that encouraged me because I wanted to, and he stayed on top of me too. And so I was B's and C's, but I could have been better, but I kind of let my popularity went to my head a little bit. So it is what it is, and I didn't, even in high school, I never took books home or nothing. They'll sign your wall like I never took books home or nothing.
So let me ask you this: during your school days, what would you say was your best memory in school?
In school?
Yeah, not sports, just in school.
In school?
Maybe prom, maybe something. What do you think?
My best school day, to be honest,
that moment in high school,
I would say going to the after school dances and stuff like that. And I had this one teacher named Mr. Williams. And he just was a fun teacher to class to be in. But I think the most thing I enjoyed about school was, I think, the after school activities and break time. We had like a 15-minute break, I think, before the last Tuesday. Everybody used to go meet in the lobby by the gym for break time. I enjoyed break time. I also had fun on lunch time too, because you got a chance to see everybody.
What was the worst time?
Worst times, I would say, you know something, to be honest, I actually enjoyed high school. I don't really recall having, I look forward, I was actually a student where in high school, I remember like yesterday, from the 8th to the 12th grade, I only missed 3 days of school. 3 days, I had 3 days of school. I missed, I think all those 3 days of school was, I think it was probably one each year or something like that for one a year. I was sick, but I actually enjoyed going to school, and I didn't really have no bad days. I guess I consider having a bad day if I had a really important or major test, but that wasn't a bad day. But I actually enjoyed high school. High school was really, really fun to me. I really enjoyed high school. It was really, really fun to me.
Anything outside of high school?
What do you mean?
Good moment that you had outside of high school during your high school time?
Yeah, talking about
like once you got home, a good moment that you can remember.
I remember when I was in high school, I was a teenager. During the summertime, I used to go pull weeds. So
Pull weeds out of a garden?
no, out of a peanut field. It was this man.
Hold on. This is a good moment?
No,
Or a bad moment?
it was good to me at the time.
Oh, okay.
Now that I think about it.
No, it's good with you in time.
But at the time, I'm a little 15, 16-year-old teenager.
Okay. Pulling weeds out of
we didn't, my mom couldn't afford to give us allowance or nothing like that. So during the summer months, this black guy, we always knew my dad, he had a pickup truck. He would come around the neighborhood and ask us, hey, who want to go pull weeds? So in the morning from 7 o'clock to 12 o'clock, we work 5 hours a day. He'll go to the truckload of us are teenagers and everything, mostly teenage boys and girls. He would take us out because where I come from, we got cotton fields and peanut fields everywhere you look. Mm-hmm. So, and we would go down at 7 o'clock in the morning and had to go down, and everybody line up on the line, each row, and go down there and pull the weeds out the peanut field. And you'll see a difference when you can see that a row haven't been pulled and so we worked from 7 to 5. And wait, was it 7 to 5? And we got paid $50 a week. $50 a week. So every Friday, that Pam was like the supervisor. Mm-hmm. He'll come out there when we get ready to get up, giving us cash. And now I know why he was giving the cash, but then I didn't think about it, but I know now why he was paying us cash, because the white man that owned the peanut field, it was a tax. He didn't have to write us off on taxes and then give us taxes and nothing like that. So I know why he was giving a white envelope with our name on it and handing us cash, $50 bill, 2 20s and a 10. And on Friday, man, you couldn't tell me nothing. I had $50 in my pocket. Man, you couldn't tell me nothing. Man, you couldn't tell me nothing on Friday. I used to enjoy those moments. And then we also, one summer, went to the cotton field and we picked cotton. I physically picked cotton
your high school time.
My 11th grade. I picked cotton and put them in. You put them in this we call croaker sack.
Croaker sack.
You know what croaker sack is?
Croaker sack.
You pick cotton buds and put them in croaker sacks. And then when you get cotton buds and put them in croaker sack get full, you put them. Then they'll get the croaker sack and.
When did you graduate high school?
Graduated high school in 1987.
87. So you was picking cotton in the 80s.
Yes. 85, 86, 87. I was picking cotton. Same thing, same man. $50 a week during the summer months.
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed the $50. And it was and the reason why we only did a half a day in the summer because where I'm from, it got so hot until we couldn't be out there in the afternoon time. It was so. I mean, 9 or 10 o'clock, it was already like 100 degrees.
Yeah, it does get hot there in Georgia.
It was 100 degrees, so we only worked the morning from 7 to noon, and that was it. After that, you were done. But them 5 hours, I recall, you just passed by so slow, man, because we out there 2 hours, man. It's 9 or 10 o'clock. It feel like 100 degrees. You feel like you've been out there 8 hours already.
Dressed in sweat.
Dressed in sweat. I used to wear shorts and tennis shoes and T-shirt, man. Back then, I wasn't putting that wore caps and stuff, but I wish, now I think about it, I would have wore a cap. I was a little kid, man. I had a lot of energy. I was just looking forward to it, man. We used to have fun. I actually had fun, man. I remember the story that that when we were picking the cotton down the south, how they water their fields. They got what they call man-made irrigation ponds. I don't know if you ever heard that before, where they'll dig a deep hole and put a big plastic thick covering on it, like you do, and they'll fill it with water. I don't know if you ever seen the irrigation sprinklers that's sprinkling it, that's watering the whole field, they move back and forth.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's like on a big wheel type.
Yeah. So that is hooked up to a well, that irrigation pond where they're pumping water and watering the whole fields and stuff. And so one time we was near the irrigation pond pulling cotton, and Pebble would drop a lot, but he wouldn't always stay out there with her. He was a supervisor. Sometimes he would stay, sometimes he would go. He would go run errands and all that type of stuff. He would go fill our cooler with ice and water and bring it back to it. Cause all we had was water. I didn't take no lunch because we was on there for a couple of hours. And so, and we all, me and a bunch of my friends, man, we was in the irrigation pond swimming and everything, not knowing that we could have drowned because the irrigation pond, it's a suction. It's sucking the water out. You know what I'm saying? And one of the kids got sucked to the thing, man, almost drowned, man. And we came back. Pam had told us, he said, "I'll never forget this. Me and my brother, we still laugh about it to the day. When he was getting ready to leave, he said, 'Don't get in the white man pond.' Do y'all understand me? Don't get your ass in the white man pond."
That's your brother saying that?
No, the Pam, the supervisor. Don't, because we were right there by it.
But so, Pelman, the guy that came and picked y'all up.
Yes.
Black guy though, right?
Black guy, yes.
Okay.
He was telling, don't get in the white man pond. Don't get your ass in the white. Okay, Pam, we don't get in that pond. I don't think he was out of sight. We was in that pond. Then he came back. We had got out of it. He pulled up and looked at us. He said, "Why the hell all y'all wet?" He said, "Didn't I tell y'all not to get in the white man?" So he tried to fire me, my brother, and three of our friends. I'll never forget, man. He said, "You fired. You fired." So we're saying we fired. I'll never forget.
That's why you're in high school though.
High school.
Yeah.
Next morning, he come pick us up, pick everybody else up at 5. Me, my brother, and my 3 friends, we begging Pam, can we go pull cotton? And he let us back on the truck. Please, Pam, please don't fire. Please don't fire.
Because y'all wanted that $50.
I wanted that $50. That's a true story, man. True story. And to this day, I didn't realize what was going on until I was grown and had left there. And to this day, in 2024, I don't think they have people out there picking cotton by their hand, but they still have people walking the field picking the weeds out the peanut field. I seen it.
So, around what time of the year do they go out there and pick peanuts out of the field,
Well, we pull the weeds out the field during the summer months.
Pull the weeds. It's during the summer.
During the summer months, yes. During the summer months. So a lot of times when you see boiled peanuts and all that kind of stuff, they come from down in my area in South Georgia.
So, but like you said though, this is 1980, and I think a lot of people are gonna see this and just won't believe that in 1980 people was picking cotton.
This was 85, 86, 87. I mean, like almost in the 90s, close to the 90s, and I was picking cotton.
So, but what are the likelihood? Here we are, 2024. People are still picking that cotton.
It's to this day. That it's a cotton gin in my hometown that still Like they got machines that go pick the cotton now, but it's still coming and recycle it and get all the cotton buds and stuff. And
Like a person does that.
yes, it got people. That's one of the main jobs in my town is the cotton gin. They call it the cotton gin, and I think they bring the barrels of cotton there in the crocosite looking thing. But they recycle them, man, and they bring 18-wheeler full of cotton, man, and run through the machine, and it's kind of like how you do silk or whatever, and get all the cotton thing out, and then they recycle and put it into a bundle, man, and they wrap it, man. And you know, to be honest, I never put a lot of thought into it until you and I had a conversation about it, and I mentioned that we still have a cotton gin, and that's an operational cotton gin in 2024 in my hometown, and that's one of the main jobs in my town to this day.
It's something to go see. I'm telling you, it's something to go see. And just things that as we young, we just don't think nothing of it. But just like when you went and got picked up, you know, did you ever tell your mom or your dad where you was going, what you was doing?
Yeah, they know. My mom and my dad know we were doing it. They're the one that told us that we're doing. I don't know if they had talked to Pebble or whatever, but Pebble used to ride around certain place, do the little small town, and make certain stops. And one of our stops in front of our house. I don't know if she had talked to Pebble and told them to come get us or whatever the case may be. Because in the summer months, all we did was we woke up, looked for something to eat, and we went outside to play basketball all day. You know, growing up, you know.
Because it wasn't like in a big city.
It wasn't a big city. It wasn't a big city. So we all got together, man, and they played basketball and football or something like that. And so our mom got tired of us just sitting around the house not doing nothing. We was always ask for money. She didn't have money. I think I'll never forget, like when our mom would get like a little extra money or anything. I'll never forget. When I got older, man, I was in high school. My mom had started giving us like during the year, because we don't work that job pulling cotton and weeds in the summer months. So during the year when we weren't working, my mom would give me, I'll never forget, every week was a $7 allowance. She gave me $7 every week.
So like, just think about high school days. What did you spend the money on? If it was such a small town, like where'd y'all, like was there movies?
No, in the movie theater, we had a small restaurant there it was called the Back Porch. As a matter of fact, it's still operational today. It's the only restaurant in the town called the Back Porch. It was a chicken house. And you go there, like when I get off work, when I used to get my check on Friday, I go take a shower with it, change clothes, and we all go to the chicken house and just get, and like, it was like a little hut, but people came from all over different little cities to get their chicken house, owned by white people. And like in my little town, when you first come into it, it sticks like a sore thumb where the white people side of town and the black people side of town. When you first come in, all the nice houses and everything, you can tell. Then you keep going, you cross the railroad track, you know you're in the hood.
So when you say the neighborhood, a lot of us think inner city or something like that.
Ain't no neighborhood, that's just the beginning part of the town.
So, but like, when you say, you know, it was a clear difference of where the black people were and the white people were, you know, would you say that a lot of the black people where you're from didn't have a lot of money, or did you know some black people that had a lot of money down there?
Me growing up,
or you probably just didn't pay any attention to it?
Me growing up, I didn't really pay attention. I don't recall any black people just standing out, having a lot of money. Only person I recall that I do, one person, and I think that he called himself sold drugs and wore a lot of jewelry. That's the only guy, and he drove fancy cars and stuff. But other than that, I just never pay attention to black people because my dad, when I was in high school, he was working at a plywood company where they would cut down trees and make it into plywood, like you go buy wood from Lowe's and stuff. He worked at that until he retired, and that was like 10 miles away from my hometown, and that was considered a good job.
And did your brothers and sisters work in the fields too?
Myself, my younger brother, my older brother, my sisters never did it. My sister never did it.
Just the boys. So
just the boys. Just the boys did it. We had girls, teenage girls, and stuff, but my sister just something they never did. My mom didn't make them do it. She made them. She let them, like I said, my older sister never lived with us really. It was just my next to the oldest sister. My older sister always lived with my grandmother, and my grandmother lived by herself. And then it was just my next to the oldest sister, mother sister. She just never. My mom always let her stay at home and took care of home.
That's quite interesting. Okay.